Good evening, the second hour. Eric Erickson here. News 95.5 AM 750 WSB. The entire first hour, I tried to explain the problems with Common Core. The people who started it were well-intentioned, but it's going to be politicized and taken over by the left. It's already happening in places, and Georgia, if they keep going down this road, aren't going to be able to stop it. They aren't. They really aren't. And so I can't support people who support Common Core, because I see it in my own child's life, how bad it is, how ridiculous the math standards are. I hear from people all over the state who they're experiencing it in their lives with their children, and it really is a disaster. It is, in theory, something very good, and in practice, something very terrible. And you can't assure me it won't get politicized, because it will get nationalized. It will get nationalized because the national testing standards, ACT, SAT, the baccalaureate program, are moving towards Common Core if the states keep going along with it. If Georgia stops, Georgia can help slow down the train, along with Texas and other states who are opposed to it. The people who support Common Core tend to be very disingenuous. They tend to be paid to support it. Very often, very rarely will you find anyone who isn't on the payroll who actually likes Common Core. I'm very, very opposed to Common Core, seeing it in my child's life and the lives of other children around the state, and of parents who call into this program deeply upset and crying, particularly in the black community, the devastation that Common Core is reaching. Hearing from teachers all over the state who are opposed to it. Brooks Coleman chairs the Education Committee in the House of Representatives. Brooks Coleman, those of you who live in his district in Gwinnett County, I hope you will support his opponent, Jeff Fincher. I know Jeff. I know his wife. They were at the Alliance Defending Freedom event a couple of weeks ago. Got a his wife is just a phenomenal artist. Got a print of a painting she gave to President Bush after 9/11. Jeff Fincher. Remember the name, Jeff Fincher. Jeff Fincher is running against Brooks Coleman. Brooks Coleman, head of the Education Committee in the House. Brooks Coleman supports Common Core. Brooks Coleman obstructed an effort to get Georgia out of Common Core. Brooks Coleman should be defeated. Brooks Coleman has been there long enough. Brooks Coleman is ignoring the complaints of parents around the state. Brooks Coleman is ignoring the pleas of teachers around the state. Brooks Coleman is ignoring the kids around the state. Brooks Coleman is all on board what will amount to, I guarantee you, a federal takeover of education through surreptitious means. The federal government can't directly take over of education, but the Obama administration is doing everything it can to fund the Common Core efforts in the state. And once they funded it and set the strings, they will start controlling the agenda. Do not believe people in the state who tell you that Georgia can control it, Georgia can block it, Georgia can deny it. Georgia can't. Georgia can't. I explained in the first hour why. You'll have to get the podcast. I'm not going to go back. Jeff Fincher. Jeff Fincher is running against Brooks Coleman. He's an upstanding individual in his community. He's a good man, and he will oppose Common Core. And I tell you, people, if you want to save your children, if you want to spare the children of other people in your community, if you want to help children in the black community get ahead, you've got to stop Common Core. We rallied on charter schools. We joined a bunch of white Republicans and black moms in the inner city, joined together to pass charter schools. We have got to join together again to stop Common Core. And if you want to stop Common Core, you can't support people like Kara Willis, who is running for state school superintendent, who is all on board Common Core, a big defender of it. You cannot support people like Brooks Coleman. You cannot do it. We have got to turn this train around. We've got to stop it. It is going to ruin our kids' education if we go down this. I'm not in the conspiracy theories on it, but I can tell you what's going to happen. I see it firsthand in second grade, and it's only going to get worse. The other standards are coming. Brooks Coleman, he's in Gwinnett County. He's a state representative in the state house. He's the chairman of the Education Committee. He needs to be defeated. Those of you in Gwinnett County, you need to support Jeff Fincher. It's Jeff with just one F. Herman Cain and I are both supporting Jeff Fincher. Herman was at a rally. I don't know that I'm going to be able to work it out on time. I've got to do one for Barry Loudermilk. I'm doing one for Karen. I'd love to get up there to help Jeff. I'm not sure I can. If I could, I would. But those of you who are out there, you can help him. If you're in the Gwinnett County area, you can help him by going to vote for him and helping add to the people in the legislature who oppose Common Core. I'm sorry, I'm running long, keeping traffic waiting.